Welcome to PDAC 2023. My name is Julian DeRosier from the IIF. I'm joined today here by Scott. Hi Scott, how are you doing?
Very good, thank you, Julian.
So Scott, can you first introduce yourself and the company you're working for?
So I joined Rackla earlier in January of this year. My role is Vice President of Exploration. Prior to joining them, I worked for the Yukon Geological Survey.
Okay, and what is Rackla Metals? What commodities are you looking for, and where are your licenses?
We're primarily a gold-focused company, and we're working in the northwestern part of Canada, in the Yukon and Northwest Territories.
Okay, great. And then at which stage of exploration your projects are right now?
They're fairly early stage projects. Our main project is called Astro. It has had a few drill holes drilled on it, but it was at a period of time where the target was a little different than the ideas that we have on it. So we're going to be going back to that project. There's been some historical work done, soil sampling, stream sediment sampling, a bit of prospecting, some mapping, the few drill holes that I mentioned. We're going back with a new idea, doing some more of that work, but targeting the intrusive hosted gold possibilities on that target.
Okay, that's good to hear. So basically, early exploration stage, what the investor should be looking at? What kind of the clues that you, as a geologist, are looking for into it?
So we're going in with a different model. The previous work has identified lots of geochemical anomalies for gold and for indicator minerals, which at the time were not quite recognized for the potential of an intrusive hosted gold deposit. So what investors should be looking at is the work that we're doing is taking that historic results and using it with the new model that we have, expanding on those values, and we'll be drilling later on this summer. And if what we think is really there, we're expecting to have some good drill results by the end of this summer.
All right, that looks pretty exciting. And so, what are the share structure look like? Do you have, is it a mostly friend and family owned right now? Do you have big investors behind, institutional? Do you know a little bit about this side?
I don't know much about the share structure. I'm mainly focused on the exploration side of things. I'm the geologist, not the financial guy.
I still have to ask. So
we do have just over 58 million shares out.
Okay.
And we're trading at about 32 cents presently. That I do know, but yeah, I'm not certain about the structure.
Okay, perfect. And then if we continue looking a bit more, so what will be defining your drill targets? What are you going to be looking for specifically to say this is where we put the drill in, this is where we go to confirm our assumptions?
There's a couple of factors we're looking at. We've got good geochemical analyses so far. Soil geochem is excellent on the margins of the target that we're after. We're going to take that soil geochem work and bring it into the intrusive rocks. The target is a very well-defined target type for the Yukon and Alaska, for example. There are a number of operating mines there. There's some new projects that have been developing resources fairly recently. The intrusion-hosted gold target has a very typical geochemical signature, which has the gold associated with bismuth, tellurium, tungsten. So we're looking for that geochemical signature. It's also, there's a geophysical response that is typical of these deposits. You generally have the center of the intrusion as a magnetic low, the margins as a magnetic high, giving a donut shape to the geophysical imagery. That we know we have on the property. We're going to be expanding on that geophysics to cover some blank areas, but right now what we know, we have that idealized geophysical magnetic signature. And then we're going to combine that with some on-the-ground prospecting and mapping to look for what is also typical of these deposits is sheeted quartz veins, which tend not to have a lot of sulfide mineralization. They have a bit, but the gold occurs with the bismuthite in the quartz veins. So that's what's going to guide our drilling for this year.
Well, this is very interesting. For any future investors that want to look to know a lot more about the company, more about Rackla Metals, where they can do so?
Our website, racklametals.com, is a great place to view. We'll be at various of these conferences and investors forums over the next little while. That's probably the best place to look for that information.
Perfect. So I invite everyone who looked at the video, find the story interesting, want to know more about Rackla Metals, about where they're going to be drilling campaigns, the results that are going to be coming from it. Please go on their website, get on those newsletters. And Scott, I thank you very much for your time. Very interesting presentation on Rackla.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.